Okay, we are live. So thanks everybody for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to introduce Blockchain Founders Group, or BFG. If you don't already know, that's our online nickname as well. So we are a German-based Web3 startup accelerator. We have dedicated ourselves to identifying the best Web3 founders and helping them accelerate their growth and business. So today we'll start with a brief overview of the Adrenaline Accelerator, followed by a Q&A session to address any questions that you may have about the program. So the Adrenaline program is tailored for later stage post-MVP products and teams. When applying for this program, it's important to have a developed product and a clear audience in mind. The program is designed to focus on your growth and acceleration, helping you to scale your business effectively. So at BFG, you can see we try to invest in startups as early as possible, ideally at the pre-seed stage. We target startups that are finalizing their MVPs, meeting their first clients, generating their first revenues. So our typical investment is around 100K euros for an equity between 3 to 10%, depending on the development stage of your startup and your value. So usually this will be discussed upon your acceptance into the program. So far, we have backed over 30 startups and maintain a rather global focus. So whether you're based in the Middle East, Asia, Europe, the US, or LATAM, as long as your team, market, and idea are promising, you have a chance of being part of our next cohort. So historically, we've also focused on equity investments, but recently we've expanded that to include token investments as well. So if you have a token or are considering launching one, you are very welcome to apply to our accelerator program. Our focus areas, as you can see here, are quite broad and diversified. We have a strong emphasis on Web 2.5 and Web 3 startups, particularly those involved in blockchains, DLTs, DeFi, infrastructure, asset management, metaverse, RWAs. So while we do have preferences for startups in these areas, we are always open to exploring new verticals as well. And we definitely keep an open mind when it comes to reviewing your business case and the novelty of your idea. So more information on these focus areas can be found on the application website as well, which will be sent to you after the event. So our team, you see here Yongchan and myself, our team is composed of individuals who have established themselves across various areas of entrepreneurship and Web3. On the operational side, our core team, we have a mission to support our portfolio companies in growth hacking, idea validation, and marketing support. So this team has worked with all past seasons of our startups, and we are incredibly experienced in setting you up for success. So you have Max, Yongchan, myself, and Sarah. Yeah. We also have a board of directors. We have a panel of board of directors and advisors as well. So they lend counsel to us. And, you would see some familiar faces here. Thomas, he's established in the regulatory space in Liechtenstein. You have Ulrich, a seasoned entrepreneur who has had a very successful exit as well. And Wolfgang, who has been in the VC space for over 20 years. So we do have a network of advisors who are industry experts, all ready to support you in areas like tokenomics, legal counsel, marketing, and growth techniques. And additionally, we have a huge network and connections with early to late stage investors to provide you with that fundraising support. Our track record speaks for itself. We receive numerous applications each cohort, and our acceptance rate is less than 5%. So many of our alumni startups actually go on to earn grants, raise funds, and win hackathons as well, as you can see on the right side. We also have partnerships with various tools and applications that startups can use in their growing journey. So we provide a boost wherever we can to founders who are in our cohorts. So now moving on to the program structure. If you didn't already know, the program is 8 weeks long. The upcoming cohort will start in October, mid-October to be exact, and conclude in early December. So we first begin with onboarding, some initial assessments and introductions to the team so that you know who's who and you know who to go for, who to look for certain things that you might need. And there are checkpoints along the way when the program officially starts. So, well, we start with testing the strength of your solution, you know, assessing the market demand, your team composition. We revisit your customer profile and we take stock of what you're doing now. And then we begin to push you after that at checkpoint 2. So we focus on achieving product market fit, growth hacking, acquiring your first customers, gathering user feedback, and community building. So as the 8 weeks progress, the final phase of our program would concentrate on pitching. So we'll help you package your startup, your pitch, your product into something that is easily understood. We look at refining your pitch deck as well, your data room, your content. And at the end, in December, you will get to pitch to our board of directors and also at the public demo day at the end of the program, which marks your graduation from the cohort as well. So here's kind of a macro view of how the program will play out over the next few months. So our accelerator program is an 8-week journey that's in the middle to design to take your startup to the next level. So you will receive mentorship, resources, you know, support tailored to your needs. And at the end of the program, we'll provide financial support of up to 100K euros for selected startups to help you scale your business and achieve your goals. And that doesn't end there. The value of BFG Adrenaline lasts far beyond the end of the program. So for Blockchain Founders Group, you know, you foster connections and get added to an alumni WhatsApp group. You get a strong network and access to coaching, and as well, you know, if we arrange ad hoc sessions here and there. You also have a weekly touch points with advisors to keep you on track and help you navigate any challenges that you might have. So they provide coaching and support as well. Just about wrapping up. So maybe let's quickly delve into the profiles of the entrepreneurs that we attract. So we do have quite a high caliber of applicants. We are dedicated to accelerating the most promising Web3 teams. So our commitment is to provide unparalleled support and resources. So our program, what sets our program apart is our remote first approach. Our whole program is truly digital. So that means there are no geographical limitations, you know, when it comes to wherever you're at, where, you know, we bring in speakers as well from all over the world, and we can support talented founders regardless of their location. Next, we also have an international first approach. It reflects our mindset that, you know, great ideas are not limited to any area in particular. And it fosters a diverse, and we get to foster a diverse and global community of entrepreneurs. As we wrap up today, I want to invite you to join us and be part of our next cohort. So while we take pride in our European roots, our outlook and impact are felt very much across the world. And thank you for being here today. I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. Thank you. So we do have some questions coming in from the YouTube live stream. One of them says, if you are working, can you join the program? Okay, thanks very much for that question. So while investors, you know, or accelerator programs like us, we typically prefer founders who are fully committed to their startups. We understand that transitioning away from your full-time job can take time, and you know, we don't expect it to happen right now as well. So you can apply to the program first and participate while still being employed. But if you know the conversation gets to the investment stage, we do expect a high level of dedication and performance that will match those of your peers who are not in a full-time position. So we hope that, you know, if talks of the investment are serious and are finalized, that we hope that you will commit fully to your startup and any growth plans. Yongchan, anything to add?
No, that was good summary.
All right. Okay. We have another question. How do you evaluate your criteria for investment in a startup? Yongchan, you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have a very holistic approach to assessing investment opportunities. But bear in mind that we are early stage investors, right? So we do invest in primarily pre-seed startups. And at pre-seed, you look at certain things with a higher relevance. For instance, like the founder market fit, the problem solution fit. Do you have any sort of traction metrics that prove that you have substantially de-risked certain market assumptions, right? So if I tell you it's going to be pre-revenue metrics, I mean, ideally you have some kind of revenue metrics that are positively growing over time, but you can even have metrics that are not related to revenue, right? Such as LOIs, great partnerships, maybe a testnet deployment already, which shows that you can execute and not only talk. It can be related to user signups. So if you are managing a growing wait list, that's also a great sign that you can that you have either demand or that you are really good at distribution, right? And yeah, I mean, and I want to emphasize maybe that earlier stage, and most VCs at early stages that are looking at the early stage deals, they really place a big focus on the founder team, right? So ideally, you have had some kind of work experience in the Web3 vertical that you are trying to yeah penetrate. So if you are maybe interested in like DePIN and tokenizing GPU usage or power, then ideally you have maybe some kind of background in this kind of area. Maybe you've been a cloud architect, maybe you've worked at, I don't know, AWS or Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure before. So we really look at founder market fit. We also look at whether you've been working with your co-founder for a longer time period, because this also shows us that you have a great chemistry. Um, and yeah, we just want to see some teams that have really put a lot of thought behind their startup idea, the business model, and yeah, and of course we want to see whether this idea has 100x potential, right? So we are looking for the next unicorn.
That's great. There is a question coming in asking, what is the equity structure of the investment? So maybe we can include token as well. So I can answer for equity. Maybe Yongchan, you do token. So the equity structure of our investment depends on, of course, the stage of development that your startup is at. So we do have standard terms of 100K euros in exchange for 3 to 10% equity. But these are further discussed and detailed once you are accepted into the program. So we typically look at early stage startups with an MVP and some revenue. And yeah, I think maybe from there, Yongchan, you can go into tokens as well.
Yeah, and just a small add, we are investing globally, right? So you start a company, your development company, it can be in different jurisdictions like Germany, for instance, in other European EU countries. We also invest in the past in Indian startups. We invest in startups that are based in Singapore, in the US as Delaware C Corps. So we are very familiar with different sort of legal structures, right? So we do share purchase agreements. Typically, we do prefer SAFE, so standard investment contracts for the equity part. And for the token parts, so if you consider launching a token, we do have a token warrant template that we typically draw on to also get yeah the exposure to the token side of things. So these are standard terms as well, and it really depends on just to reiterate on your traction, on the feasibility, on the conviction that we have in the business model and in the founder team.
Great. We do have one question that just came in. What do you look for when you shortlist applicants? So our acceptance rate is pretty low. So what we do look out for, what really stands out to us in an application is when we look at the caliber of the founder team, so the founder or the team. So we want to make sure that the founder or team is capable and committed to the idea. We also check out your MVP, make sure it's solid, ready to go. We're also interested in the market that you're targeting, whether it's big and full of potential. And we like to see something unique about your product, something that sets it apart. Maybe no one else is doing it, or you offer a slightly different perspective on how things are being done currently. And lastly, if you have early signs of traction or validation, like user interest or revenue, that's a big plus for us. So I guess we're looking for startups that show promise and it can fit well with what we offer. Anything to add, Yongchan?
Yeah, just some personal things that give me the ick is please don't use ChatGPT for your answers. It's for me at least sometimes pretty obvious if you just copy paste some of ChatGPT's outputs into the application form that we use. And also please yeah, try to answer the questions with the to the best of your knowledge, right? So it will take you only a couple of minutes more just to write the additional one, two, three sentences that really will help you make the cut for us to consider you for the interview for the second stage of the selection process. So just try your best because if you don't try your best with the application form, right, then you just basically waste your time as well. So just yeah, think that it's really worth putting in maybe 5 additional minutes in the application form to increase your chance to be selected dramatically.
Yep. That is all the questions we have for now. We don't really see any more coming in. So I think, yeah, we do have a second AMA session happening on 28th of August. So that's slightly closer to the application deadline of 1st September. So if you have any more questions, you can register and sign up for that session. And you can ask us any questions there as well. So yeah, anything to end or close the session with, Yongchan?
No, all good.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you so much for spending the past half an hour with us. And we hope that we managed to answer all the questions that you had about the program. And I think we are very much looking forward to seeing all the applications that come through.